How you going, folks?
Hi. Hi.
We've got someone special today. So we're gonna go with a brand new spanking new Turner today. First lesson, hence the name of my live. How you going, Mike? How you going, Robert?
Hi, Mike. Hi, Robert.
Right, good afternoon all from Aussie. I know it's morning over there for you lot, or night time actually. Right, we've got a student today, Amber. She's better looking than Jay and possibly more intelligent too. So we're starting right from the beginning the way that I would normally run a class, okay? So first thing that she's done is taken off her wedding rings and everything. She's got no watches on, I take it. Taken off the necklace that she had around her neck. Hair's tied back. Now, I don't worry about long sleeves as long as they're nice and tight against the cuffs, all right? Right, now the next thing, Amber, just put it on the other camera around the lathe.
The producer will do that.
Right. Now, can you zoom that out a little bit, please, Joe?
No.
Sorry.
Does that help?
That'll do.
Does that help?
That's fine. Yep. Okay. Now, you've got to make sure that the area around your lathe is clear first, particularly towards an exit, where if anything goes wrong, you've got somewhere to go to get out of the way. So I know you're cramped for space there, but it's fairly clear. I always say that you should have about 3 feet at each end and about 4 or 5 feet behind you, but sometimes that's a little bit hard to do. G'day, Manic. I saw you there.
Hi, Manic.
Now, next thing we're going to go through is the parts of the lathe. So put it up on the split screen, please, Joe. Right. Now, Amber, this is the head. This end here is the headstock. Up this end here. Wait on, I'll just turn the camera around a little bit.
I feel naked without my wedding ring on.
So, right, headstock, tailstock.
Tailstock. Yep.
This is called the bed, down underneath that all the things sit on. Right. That is called the banjo.
Oh, yes, there.
And this part here is called the tool rest. Sorry, you can't see it in there.
No, but it's okay. Right, I know what it is.
Right. You're going to get tested on this in a minute. Now, wait on. I'll just move the camera out of the fraction so you can see. Right. Now, just flip the cover back on the end of the lathe. On the headstock end, where the belts are.
Already.
Oh, he's done all of that.
I've got all that up.
Just put the camera around there, please, Jay, if you would.
Just let me do it.
Okay.
Challenging times. I didn't expect that I'd have to be moving my nightstand around. I'll have to hold it because it's actually tilted right off of its axis at the moment.
Okay, right, that's fine. Right there. Now, you'll notice 3 or 4 pulleys in there, Amber.
Yes.
That is what adjusts your speed on a normal type lathe. Now, there's an electronic variable speed, EVS lathe, which have got a little knob on them for adjusting the speed as well. They've normally got 2 or 3 speeds on the headstock and the motor, and then a variable speed as well. But this one changes speed with the belts. Now, the biggest pulley at the top means that it is on the slowest speed. That's where you should start most times when you're starting off.
Mhm.
So,
Just say okay.
right,
Okay.
I'm going to be a nuisance here. Just put the camera back, Jay, so that Amber can get in there and change the speeds by
Yep.
moving the belt.
All right.
And you're going to have to be my eyes over there so that.
Yeah, I know. Just got to get my camera stand to sit back now. It won't sit there. Just sorry, I didn't mean to swear. But it gets annoying.
Fudge, she said fudge.
Where is it going to sit now? Yes. Oh.
Okay,
Right.
so.
So you look down in there. Look down at the belts down there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you see how it's where it is on there. You see, there's 1, 2,
Yes.
and then that one's on the second one.
Uh-huh.
And then this one, what you looked at on the camera before, was on the second one in.
Yeah.
So then what you need to do is you got to. This is the spanner to undo it. All right. Watch the belt. Right.
Okay, so, yep.
See that? Flex
Oh,
up.
flex up, yes.
All right. So that means you can change the belt now, and we got to hold that up with
Okay,
one
so
hand.
hold that up, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then-
then take.
No, do the top one first.
Oh, hang on, I can't see that.
No, you don't need to. Just go by feel.
Oh, God.
All right. This is the tricky. All right.
Yeah, so
You go
let's
up. Up. No, go that way.
put that
The
way.
belt that
No,
way.
Tommy,
I think it went across.
All right. I'll have a look. Is look.
Yeah, that went across.
No, it didn't.
No?
No, it jumped back off.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got lines in the drive,
Mhm.
and then it's got lines in the belt, and they'll actually you got to get them lined so that it sits on there properly. Otherwise, it'll slide off. Don't ask me how I know
Yeah.
that.
it's called a multi-V belt.
All right. So you feel that. Don't pull it out. Push that back down so it doesn't fall out. All right. Just leave it like that for a sec, and you feel that how it's in there, and you can feel
Yeah.
the edge of the cog and button like so
Yeah.
that it's seated in there.
It's in there, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'll hold that because sometimes that'll pop out.
And then I need
pull
to
this up
pull that
again.
up,
Not
yeah.
up, not full on. Just pull it up a little
A little
bit,
bit. Oh, okay,
and then
yeah.
put it on the very smallest cog,
Smallest cog, right. I'm hoping that's
the
right.
very smallest, and then make sure it's seated in there properly.
Yep.
You can turn it.
Yep. So I'll just make sure that's
Yeah.
right.
I don't need to look. I can just feel it. Yeah. No, you're right.
Okay.
And this here, right?
Goes back. Yep.
Use your might to push it down. Don't worry about how heavy it is. Just push down and hold it because this has to be
And
tightened.
tight. Okay.
See? And then you got to pull it out because it's on that spring-loaded thing
Yeah,
there.
and then go. Okay.
And then tight, and then you feel the belt. Does it feel tight?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, and then it's tightened.
Yep.
And then you don't have to worry about that again for a while.
Okay. Okay. All done.
How you going, Tommy?
Hi, Tommy.
Yeah, g'day, Tommy. I think I might have said hello to you before. All right, now locate the on and off switch.
Yep.
Make sure there's no spindle locks on this lathe, but I'll go through it anyway. You always make sure that the spindle lock is off before you turn it, because otherwise you wear out the belts.
Hang
Now,
on.
so,
I'll show her what that is. There'll normally be like a knob here that you push down, or a pole you can put in there, and it'll stop this from spinning.
Oh, okay.
So you can work on this bit here without it
Oh, okay.
being a pain in the wheel.
Fair enough.
All right. Go.
Carry on. Robbo.
okay, right. Now, turn the lathe on.
Hang on.
Take that away.
This over there.
All good?
Sweet.
Right, turn it off.
Now you know how
Where's
to turn
the
it on
bed?
and off.
Yeah, right.
Alright.
Where's the bed, Amber?
Here.
Right, good. Headstock.
Headstock, tailstock, banjo.
Yeah, no, just listen to what I'm saying and just point them out when I say, all right?
Okay.
Right, tool rest,
Tool rest.
banjo,
banjo,
headstock,
headstock,
on-off switch.
on-off switch,
Turn it on.
turn it on.
Don't put your fingers in anything that's moving.
No,
Where's the headstock? Leave it running. Headstock.
the thing that's turning.
Headstock.
Point at it, dear.
No, the
Don't
headstock
touch
is
it.
still bit.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Touch the headstock. Touch the headstock. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to touch the chuck. We haven't got to the chuck yet. Right. Right. Turn it off.
See what I mean about listening?
The off switch is the most important switch on the lathe. You've got to be automatic when you get to it, all right? You've got to know exactly where it is so you can shut it down immediately if you need to, okay?
Okay.
So remember the location.
Mhm.
Right. Where's the banjo?
Banjo is here.
Right. Tailstock.
Tailstock.
Oh, sorry, I haven't got the camera on it.
No, that's all right.
All right, can I just interrupt for a sec there,
Oh.
Robbo, and I'll just let Blair know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, how you going, Blair? We're having Amber's having a first lesson. So
Yay!
we are
Thank you.
I'm just asking the earworms, other than Robbo, to try and just stay quiet until we get her sorted out a little bit, you know. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Jay, just take the drive spur out of the chuck, please.
Yeah.
Say, Blair.
Yeah. I'll be on my picture, eh?
Right. Can you knock the tailstock center out too, please?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go. Look at that. There you go,
That's what I said last night. Always make sure you hang on to it so you don't destroy the bloody thing. Right.
So yeah, I just give you a lesson in what not to do. Look at that.
Okay.
Rightio. Now, normally the drive spur fits into a Morse taper in the headstock shaft. That chuck is not normally on there. So you've got to make sure that where they go in is nice and clean. The tailstock center also fits in.
Yeah.
The drive spur, there's 3 or 4 different types of drive spur. You get 2-prong, 3-prong, 4-prong, which is the one you've got. You can also get what's called step centers, which are they're a serrated thing, fairly expensive, but they are the best drives that you can get, in my opinion. Now, pick up your tailstock center.
This thing.
Right, that's the tailstock center. Turn it round, just spin the end of it.
Just turn it.
Mm.
Hold the taper. Right. Now, that is called a revolving cup center. You can also get revolving cone centers, which I don't use very often except in holes. Now, there's 3 or 4 different types of them as well, but just as long as you remember that it's a revolving cup center, commonly just called a live tail center. Okay.
Mhm.
Now it also fits into the tailstock on a Morse taper. That's what holds it there. Now the Morse tapers have to be clean for them to hold properly. So put the revolving cup center back into the tailstock again.
How does it go in? Do you just push it like?
Yeah.
Just.
Don't worry too much about it because the timber will hold it in a minute. Now this is a little bit complicated because you have to fit the drives for into the chuck. G'day, Steve. How are you?
So this is a drive spur
Yeah,
into
that's the
here.
drive spur. Yep. Now, normally that goes into a Morse taper, but Jay can't get the chuck off the lathe at the moment. Hopefully, after next week, he'll be able to with Sid there. So lock that into the chuck. Now, the big silver thing there is called a chuck. It is normally not on the lathe when you are doing real turning, which is spindle turning.
Okay.
So lock that. Right, so lock it up, and I'll just get Jay to check it. All right.
Right, righty tighty, lefty,
No, it's
lefty
opposite.
loosey.
It's opposite with this one.
No, I tightened.
No.
I tightened left.
All right. Okay. Now undo it for a sec, please. Just undo it. All right. Now, no, stop. That's enough. Now put it back in.
Why like that?
Just because it just comes out a little bit further, and if you get the wood too squashed up into it, it'll push up against that.
Okay. So that's I
Yeah.
can't do any tighter.
Here you go. Take this now. Just put it on your head and just leave it.
Okay, all done.
Right. Now, get your piece of wood that you've got.
Yes.
Yeah, a better thing, Robert, is to actually buy keyless chucks. Right. Now, what you would normally do is mark the centre of that timber from corner to corner with a ruler and a pencil.
Yeah.
So do that even though it's been done.
Okay.
All right. Here you go. You get to use your centering tool. Just use the red pencil up there.
Pencil, look, this one here's
No.
gonna.
It's got no tip on it. That's nice to use the red one.
I didn't see it.
Having a man look, you see, just make sure you get these. You put
Trying
your,
to-
put your finger there like that.
Yep. Let's see who gets.
Go from corner to corner.
Just make sure they're pushed.
Now,
So
yeah.
put your finger there. Don't put it on the side because it'll
So
flick
lifts
up.
up.
Now, on an odd-shaped piece of timber like that, do all four sides.
You didn't get the corner properly.
No, no,
It's off the corner. Look.
because that corner's not.
Yeah, that's why you're doing all four sides. If it was a machine square bit of timber, you could get away with doing two sides. But on an odd-shaped piece of timber, you've got to do four sides.
It's a garden stake, so it wouldn't be far off from being square.
Yeah, well, look, you were
Right,
just
yeah.
off centre.
And do the other side.
Yes.
Okay, other end.
You have to kind of go scribe it up and down to
Yeah.
get it into that. 'Cause it's a bit tougher that side.
Can get Papa White to punky pine.
Make sure this is all squared before
Yeah,
you go.
that side there's
Right.
square.
Both of them have to be.
But if it, yeah, look like this side, it's not
That's
even.
all right. That's all right. You just go by the sides.
Yeah.
Now, a common mistake that people do when they're marking out the centre like this is that they hold the pencil straight, and it can be a millimetre out. So always make sure that you cock the top of the pencil away from the actual part that you're using to put the line across.
That's
Oh,
so you
like
get
that.
it butted right up against the plastic. inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Right.
Oh,
Now,
sorry.
I know that that's all. Normally you would punch a hole in that centre piece there.
Yeah, and I've got this that I've been using these days. So
Oh, very good. We're getting sophisticated now.
yeah,
Excuse
Right,
me.
so punch a hole in there.
other side.
I know.
Make sure you're paying attention though, because that was on an angle. Good.
Huh?
Just
Yeah,
Just-
get it.
you're
Gotta
looking at
get
me.
it
You want?
straight.
That's it. Beautiful. Then leave that
Okay.
standing up, otherwise it'll roll off. No, other way, dear. That's it.
Now move your
Okay.
tails. Move your tailstock back a bit.
Yep, there's papers there. This is my tailstock.
Yeah. No, don't bang it with your hand.
It's all good.
Yeah. You have a sore wrist and you won't be saying all good.
Right.
Right. Where's the banjo? Where's the banjo, Amber?
Here,
Right. Good. Bed?
bed. Upstairs. Here.
Right. Headstock.
Headstock's here.
No, not that. That's a chuck. The headstock's a big
Headstock's
square
here.
bit of metal. Right.
Technical.
Now, I know that people probably think that's silly, but you've got to get instinctive to know where everything is, so that I can just say, no, you move your tailstock, and you don't try and wrench the headstock off the lathe or move the tool rest out of the way, all right? So,
Okay.
and I'll just fire them at you as I'm going through the lesson. Right. Now what you do is sit the piece of wood into the drive spur, put the centre pin into the hole that you've just punched.
Yep.
Now bring your tailstock up.
Just
Hang
keep
on.
this bit up here because otherwise
Just
it'll lock.
sit it closely to where it has to be. Now,
Mhm.
Most people normally have the quill, which is the silver bit on the tailstock just behind the revolving centre there.
Sorry, what
This
was
part
that?
there. Right. This part here is called the quill, the part that
Yes.
goes in and out. Yes, where your finger's sitting. Now,
Yes.
always extend that out an inch or 25 millimetres before you bring your tailstock up. I saw it was already done, so just leave it there, all right? Now,
Okay.
lock your tailstock down to the bed with the locking lever behind it.
That one?
No, that
No,
was
just
it.
that one.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Right, where's the chuck?
Chuck. Is that yeah, there. Chuck?
Right, good.
Yes, because that's the chuck key.
Right. Now, tighten your tailstock up with the hand wheel at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay. Oh, wow.
No, stop. Now get that hammer up there because this you got to bang that down.
Okay.
Right, that'll do.
Yep.
You just got to make it a little bit tighter. Just saves smashing your hand.
Okay, and then keep
And, yeah,
tightening.
and then go that way because you got to keep an eye on this because this actually slides if it's too much. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so just keep tightening or
Yes.
until that's there.
No, don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
You just got to turn.
How much do I have to tighten?
See.
Tight.
Look at how much of those spikes have stabbed into the wood.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I just keep going until they're stabbed in. Yeah.
Imagine that you're screwing Jay's head off, all right?
Yeah. Can I just have a look for a sec, please?
They're
Can I
just
have a look
touching.
for a
You can have a look. But
Oh.
they're just touching.
Yeah, that's going to have to be about as much as you can have it at the moment because the banjo's just going. I mean, the tailstock's just going backwards. So.
Yeah, rightio.
It's in there about that much.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Right. Now, move your banjo down and place your tool rest.
Hang on, just grab it from there. Just the locking
Oh,
mechanism there.
yeah.
No, you're locking it on the other side. Now you got to keep it
Oh,
in
it's
the middle.
just in the middle. Okay. Move that down to.
So that there's an inch hanging over the end of the timber,
Like I had it before.
25 millimetres.
Out there.
Yep.
And come back a little bit. About there.
Oh, because I need the tool too.
Just a little bit of gap for.
Are you
like
sure
this.
that's enough gap?
That's all.
Okay.
And you don't tighten this up, all right? Because sometimes this will come loose. It'll just spin instead of grabbing, and you can
Okay.
just tighten this while it's still turned on. So you keep that loose.
Right, just hold on a minute.
Yeah, you're right. Oh no, I'll fill that up.
Just got to get drive spurs and things.
Well, this is what I've been making. Little snowmen. Hang on, stand up that way. Here we go. I only finished gluing them yesterday, so I've got to give him a sand and stuff and put a little ribbon around his neck
And a face.
and a face.
You look rather clean shaven there, Blair.
Yeah.
I'd like to get myself a chair, I think.
My fold out ones. Oh,
Yeah.
there.
Right there. Where I'm sitting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Freight train.
You hang on. Got
No,
train
we're
coming. No, okay. That wasn't that loud.
now, this is where we'll run. If Jay turned handles for those levers on the tail spot lock and the banjo, it'll make life a lot easier. So, right, now you've got to position your tool rest. So you do that by moving the banjo in or out. And what you do, just put my monitor up on large, please, Joe.
Sure.
Hang on. He's just outside.
There's one here. See that?
Yep.
There. On the bottom one.
Oh, okay. Didn't not.
Isn't that what you want it on?
No.
No, I want me on.
Oh.
G'day, Bailey. How are you?
How you going, Bailey?
Hi, Bailey.
Put me on the big screen, please, Joe.
Max, I'm getting there.
Okay, so
Right here.
we've looked. Yes.
Now,
We
this
were
is where I run into a lot of problems with a lot of other people. All the books will tell you to put the tool rest up fairly high and to get it in as close to the timber as you can, like that. Now, I don't. I say it's got to be a finger width, roughly about 10 millimeters away, so you can fit the tip of your finger down between there.
Yeah.
So get that set first. Make sure you're on a corner of the timber like that, and space there when it rotates around into there, okay?
Okay. I'll just hang on. Oh, I've tightened it. There we go. All right. So there and about there.
Yeah, and just keep in mind too that you
Jay,
just
put it back on full screen for Amber, please.
Doesn't spring scene.
it's too stuffy in there.
Now, can you get an overhead shot of that, please?
Overhead shot. What do you mean? Oh, of that. Okay.
So I can put my finger like that.
Yep, right. Now,
Oh, hang on.
your tool rest,
Hang on. I touched it. Okay. Yes.
right,
No, yep.
your tool rest,
It's not falling over. Yes.
now pick up your roughing,
My roughing gouge
I
is
showed you. I remember I showed you.
this one.
the spindle roughing gouge. That's the spindle roughing gouge, yes.
Look, I'm
Now,
gonna go this, alright.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I know, just so that you can tighten that. Otherwise, you can't tighten it.
Okay. Okay, so carry on, Robbo.
Right. Now, sit it on your hip, the handle on your hip, and then
Yes.
sit the blade on the tool rest.
Yes.
Now, when you put it into the bit of timber, it should be just above the centre line of the timber, okay?
Just above it.
Okay, so it was right. Like,
Turn the
Like
timber around flat. Turn the timber
all.
around flat. Now put it
Yes.
in and make sure. Right. Now put your left hand on the blade of the tool.
There,
Yeah,
like that.
like I showed you. Yeah. Like,
Right.
and then that
Okay.
left, yeah.
Put me on the full screen again, please, Joe.
It's going to be a long arrow.
I can put on the other camera so you can actually see what she's doing from that side if you need to.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Right.
Just watch that.
Yeah.
Take that off and
Okay.
watch that.
Okay.
You're on full screen. Is that what you wanted?
Yep.
All right.
Right.
Just
Now,
making sure that's all.
Amber, this
Yes.
is an underhand. That is an underhand grip.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
And what you do is when you're sitting on the rest there, you hold it underneath, and your index finger here, not the one you give cheek with, but the one you pick your nose with,
That's my little finger.
slides along the rest. That's your guide, all right? It's
Yes.
also your lock. If you want to hold one position, you push hard on the index finger, squeeze it together with your thumb, and lock it in place so that it can't slide sideways. And you'll need to know that for later cuts. Now, there's another grip, which is called the overhand grip, like this. And
Yes.
where you get your guidance from with that is the heel of your hand here. Down in there, it slides along the rest there to keep your distance and everything, right? It is no good holding the chisel right out here like this because you've got no control of where it is up against the rest. So always against the rest like that. And with a spindle roughing gouge, it's better to use an underhand grip like that so that the swarf comes out of the top. If you use an overhand grip, what happens particularly on the smaller spindle roughing gouges is that sawdust builds up here and actually pushes the tool away from the work. So, and it gets hot. Well, it gets hot when I'm using it anyway. So I always prefer an underhand grip. And if stuff's getting in the way, what you do is you bring your thumb around there so that you deflect on the smaller ones. You can't do it too well on the bigger ones. But you put your thumb there and the shavings deflect off each side of it or back onto the work so that it doesn't come up in your face. So now get your tool rest down so that hits. If this face here was facing the tool rest, there's your centre line through here. The tool should contact about there, just above the centre line, okay? So that when it comes down, it's slicing it.
You can use any one there.
So that is my
So you just kind of go
like that.
that one's not going to work.
That's
Is it?
not centre. One of the pencils got it.
Get the red one. That's why I said get the red one, you dude.
So if that there is the centre,
And then you should be cutting about there,
that there.
maybe down a little bit, but not there. You
I'll
kind of
just make it a bigger
You
eight.
can.
There
You
you
won't be able
go.
to see it when it's spinning anyway.
It's
So.
bright yellow. We should. Okay. Yeah. So I marked that out.
Right, put it back onto the full screen again, please, Joe. Or actually, can you put me and Amber on half and half?
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good camera angle. That.
No. I'm gonna have to drop you down out of the vision for a sec there, Blair.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Now you're still in there, are you, Blair?
He is there, but won't be able to hear him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hang on. Dr. Bob's just come in. Should I let him in and just explain to him what's going on?
Well, I can't. You're the host. You're the only one that can let him in.
Take on, Dr. Bob. We are today where Amber is having her first lesson,
Hi.
and I'm just putting people down the bottom just for a sec so we can so she can listen to Robbo's instructions and stuff. So I'm just gonna pop you down to the bottom of the screen for a sec, and when Robbo's finished with that, we'll put you back in. All right?
No problem. I've been watching.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
No, I've been just got in late and decided to watch to see what was going on. So
Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
sorry, Dr. Bob.
Okay, so I need I got my tool.
Yeah.
Got my center line. It's not very straight.
It's all right. Don't worry about that.
But okay, and I got my X.
Right. Now, assume the position.
Position. Hang on, just get comfortable on the hip.
Yeah. Now, put your feet about shoulder width apart, parallel with the lathe. So you can rock backwards and forwards, all right? But you don't move your shoulders. Wait on, I'll set up the other camera for a minute so you can actually see what I mean. Rightio. Bit further down. Now, no cat calls or anything from the peanut gallery, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All your movement comes from here down.
Yep.
And you sway like this. That's all you do. Your shoulders, I'll bob down a little bit. You don't rock it, your shoulders like a noddy doll, all right? So
Okay.
you've got to sway from the hips down. And don't you get excited there, Joe.
Sorry.
Don't you
I'll
get
take
excited there, all right?
That's something crude, but I won't. So I'm always rocking anyway, so that's kind of, there you go. Side to side. Is that too fast?
No, you'll do it a little bit better when you get the tool. Sorry, folks.
Right, so just practice that for a minute, moving the tool backwards and forwards along the wrist, like that, with the lathe off, and moving your hips down the bottom without moving your hands. Like, don't do what Jay does and pull the tool like that. Just keep it in one position and move your body with it.
Except don't curve it around that way. You've got to keep this bit. It needs to be
Yeah, but he
pointed.
hasn't taught me really how
That
to
needs
use
to go
it.
that way. Because you curving the handle around. That's all.
Anyway, so.
Right. Now, just have a look at my video. Have a look at my monitor for a second, please, Amber.
It's going to be the tricky part. Yep.
Okay. Now, the spindle roughing gouge is normally used pretty well straight up and down. You can angle it across a little bit, like that, in the direction of travel, okay? But it's held nearly, for roughing down, it's held nearly at right angles to the lathe itself. So you just work backwards and forwards. Okay, now what you're going to do, you're going to start roughing this down from the tailstock end, a little at a time like that. Okay?
Okay.
I'll just do it and show you for a second.
Mhm.
All right? Right
Yes.
out, have a go.
Okay. Ah. So I have to get my position done first. So hips, sway.
Not the kind of sway. The
I
whole
know,
body
I know.
do. Tilt that handle down a little bit.
That's on my hip there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, now, somebody said the other night, and I nearly jumped down the screen at them. It wasn't on this live, it was on somebody else. Said that in order to start the, I'll see if I can get it on the end for a minute. Sorry. This is actually harder than I thought it would be to get the angles and everything right. But I'll see how I go. Right, just hold on a second.
Yeah, you're all right.
Cooling off with the fan.
Sorry.
Cooling off with the fan.
Told you to be hot in here.
Hi, no mastics.
It's all right. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, come on, you miserable bastard.
See, this language on my lives, I don't know. Gonna have to get
Right.
reprimanded.
Both the cameras are wobbly and out of focus.
That's all right. It's because I'm trying to adjust the stand that I've made for it, that I've slightly made for it. You all right? Drink more water.
Mine.
Drink the hydrolyte.
Okay,
I didn't.
I'm trying to get it so it just sits there.
you right?
Right. Yeah.
All right, just watch my screen for a minute, please.
Yep.
Now, somebody said that the other night that in order to start the cut, you start up there, which is partly right. Okay, and then you slide. Then you lift the handle. But if you lift the handle, you're going to lift it off the rest. So you don't actually lift the handle. G'day, Sid. You slide the tool back whilst lifting the handle at the same time to bring the cutting edge here into contact with the timber. There's three things, A, B, C it's called, anchor, bevel, cut. Now what they mean is that you put that's anchor.
Yep.
You're watching, are you, Amber? Anchor
Yes,
means anchor means down onto the tool rest. Slide it back and lift at the same time until the bevel comes into contact with the timber and you start raising a shaving, and then you cut. So it's like this. So this is grossly exaggerated. Up there, back, slide it back until you start raising a shaving, and then cut the timber. Right, go for it.
Oh.
Just practice it a few times without turning the lathe on, all right?
So you want me to go across like that?
Yeah, but don't open the flute out so much. Keep it slightly
Right.
shut.
Like that?
That's better. Yep,
Okay.
right.
So,
It's just a matter of you getting your fingers in the
The
right
thing
place
is-
for you. So just slide up and down the.
for
Oh, no.
my thumb to go across like that,
That's
it
all right.
has to.
It's all right.
and then it
Just
doesn't-
tuck it into the side. You'll find a spot.
Right, so like that. Keep it closed more. Like
Your
that,
hand
like,
it down a little bit,
that, and across.
but not so much on this part here. You're turning this bit too much. You've got to turn. It's got to be about
Just-
there.
Okay.
That's it. Right, yeah.
Like that.
Okay,
Not off,
now
off the stand. There you
put
go.
the tool out of the way for a minute.
Back up there. Up.
Yes.
Where's the bed, Amber?
heads here.
Yep, right, good. Headstock,
Headstocks here.
good. Right, now, stand out of the way and turn the lathe on.
Oop, foot.
Right, now do up the tailstock hand wheel, all right? Tighten it up a bit while it's running.
Oh yeah, there's more turning it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it stop there?
Yep.
Because you're just pushing the tailstock back.
Okay.
Right? Now,
Yes.
the reason that you do that is because this is what happens. You've got your drive spur here like this, and when you start it up, because the timber is stationary, it spins a little bit and works itself into the timber. So you've got to tighten the tailstock back up onto it again once you've started. That's why I never put the spindle lock on the tailstock or the quill lock. I never put that in until it's in. Like you've tightened it at least once. Right. Now, get your roughing gouge.
Yep.
Turn the lathe on.
No.
Come in about an inch.
Turn
Come
it
in
off. Go get your face shield first.
Yeah,
Oh.
put your face shield on.
Well, okay. Oh, hang on. I'm just clicking things randomly. Okay. Face shield. Oh, sweetie. Yes, face shield on. Toe in hand.
Rightio.
Lathe on.
Okay, now put your roughing gouge in place. Make sure that the cutting edge doesn't contact the timber when you're getting it down onto the rest. Close the flute down, open the flute out a little bit. In other words, rotate it. Right, that's it. Now take a light cut there towards the end, towards the tailstock.
Like that?
Yes, like that. Right, good. Just switch the lathe off for a minute.
Ah. Okay.
Right, now put the speed up 1.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You
So-
really said about that spanner.
Push in. How's it?
Now pull it up.
Oh, huh?
Oh, look.
Because you've locked that in, haven't you? Oh, you've
Up
really
like
got to
that,
push,
see? Push it in like
push it
that.
really in.
And then
Okay.
down, and then push down. Yeah? Down. No, down, dude.
I don't get it. It's not working.
Push this down. This
trying.
actual lever down.
I'm trying.
It's a screw, dude. Relax. It's
Yeah.
a screw.
Well,
That's all you
this-
gotta do.
Up and we go across.
Fight you bastards, I hate peace.
What?
I said, fight you bastards, I hate peace.
Oh, you're gonna be in trouble, aren't you?
That's not a fight.
That's not a fight. This is a fight.
You've got applause from Blair, so that's good.
Yeah, all right. I'll put you back on screen while she's doing that.
I was going to say, do you want to just come check that I have done everything correctly?
What?
I think I might have put that on the second one. I'm not too
Right,
sure about that one in the back going in properly.
Now, just while you're doing that, I'll go and make myself a cup of tea, all right?
All right,
Okay.
you got it.
And is that on the second or third one?
Don't turn that so far around, dude. Try and keep that up above
Mhm.
that, all right?
And
But yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
And then
okay.
when you tighten this back up, before you tighten this, you got to push down on that.
yeah,
So
and
you
then
put pressure back on the belt,
Yep.
otherwise it'll come off. Don't ask me how I know that.
oh,
Getting a bit hot for you?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it likes. So.
No.
I've drunk 3 of these already.
How do you think I'm losing weight in here? There you go. I'll drink of that one. Because you haven't had much hard right, it was only a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
How's your day been, Dr. Bob?
Well, pretty good. Just been relaxing, watching some movies.
Yeah.
Almost been an hour.
Yeah. You should skull up.
I need to pee.
Go and have one then while he's making a coffee, you whacker. Go on.
Hey, Blair, are you still around?
He's he couldn't handle being rejected and he left the chat.
Who's that? Blair.
Yeah. I'm just giving him a heap of done. Uh-oh, look out. Amber's back.
Right.
You had to refill and she had to empty.
It's called recycling.
That's it, exactly.
Okay. Now, back again. Now, there's a couple of things back further in the chat. I just want to go and answer them for.
Answer your royal fans.
Right.
I'm not going to fill my drink.
No, right. I'll take it. Yeah, Robert, I know it looks, I've got a better one that does look like a shovel. This one here. And that's normally what you see in the European ones. And third world countries, they're flat bars like that because they're easy to make. They're just a forged gouge in a U shape like that rather than the big U shape like I normally use. So they're great for rough logs and things like that because with these, what will happen, what will happen is that this wing here will hit a knot or something and spin it right round out of your hands. Whereas with a nice even curve around this one, it tends to come into a knot slowly. So these are fairly easy to make. Right. Now. Right, okay. Back to where we were.
Can you just close that up and send me that one there?
Which one?
Your cabinet of tools up the back there that just closes up like a suitcase. I said, just close that up and mail it my way, will you?
Okay, now
Yeah.
I'll put it so you're resisting. Right, yeah, a bit of silence in the bloody court, please. Right. Now, yeah, I'll just remove the temptation from you, Jade.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Yes, and just as a matter of interest, I don't normally work in sandals, but I'm not working today virtually.
No one
Although
can
this
see him,
could be-
Robbo.
Right, now, check your tailstock again, Amber.
No, that's not.
Yep.
Make sure make sure the lock's off it. I see
Yeah.
so many people try and tighten it with the lock on it,
Yep.
and they think it's tight, and it's not.
No, it's all good.
Right. Okay, now, start the lathe up and continue the cut along until the end of your tool rest. Stay about an inch off the end of the tool rest, all right? Make sure you step aside before you start it up. Always move out of the line of fire when you're starting up.
Step up to my podium.
Position the chisel high and then come back slowly onto it. That's it, like that.
Like that. Yeah.
Was I meant to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure when you come down, you keep that on that angle like that.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed you're trying to straighten it sometimes.
Like that?
Yeah,
And
go
then
across. Yeah.
How hard am I meant to push? Because I'm not pushing very
No,
hard.
not too bad. Just now starts touching it.
But it's
No.
really jumpy. So,
Push a little bit harder then.
okay.
Oh.
Too hard.
No, that's all right.
Right, Jay, just quiet for a second. Amber, just lift the handle a bit to make it cut better. But make sure you keep it down on the tool rest. So start high and then slide it and lift at the same time.
Oh,
Until
sliding.
you adjust the depth of the cut by the angle of the handle.
Yeah, so you got to turn it that little bit. Yeah.
And
That's
start up there and yeah.
So just go. That's it. And then go that way.
And that way. Okay.
Yeah. The way that that's facing.
Yeah. No, I turned it too much.
Just go slow.
Mm-hmm.
Start at the top again.
Like there. Like that.
Turn it slightly.
And then lift the handle and down.
A little bit, yeah.
Just switch on for a minute. Just switch off for a minute, Amber.
Just watch out where you
Movement.
got that.
Yeah.
Over that.
Moving a cup of tea so they don't fill it full of shavings. Right. Now, just watch the handle, Amber. So you start up here like this. And you slide it back until it just starts cutting. Notice the angle of the handle is changing as it's coming up. Now, once it starts cutting, start sliding. And to increase the cut, you lift the handle up.
Oh,
So
hang
the
on.
cut's deeper, okay?
Yeah.
So you start about here to start the cut. But if you want to cut more off, just lift the handle up a little bit. And move the tool forward a fraction into the timber. Because you're working in towards the center. Okay. So just watch the overhead shot for a minute.
Yep.
And you'll see what I mean. So you start here to make it deeper.
That just needs to tighten. And you tighten your tail so when it's doing that.
So the further you lift the handle, the deeper it's going to cut.
That's what I was doing, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't lift too much, just a little.
You go back over there.
Yeah.
Just watch, stand off to the side.
Yes. I just want to sort of. Sorry, he wants me to. As soon as the wood turns on, I'm like, okay. So he wants me to hold it on my hip, like that, right? To the side, a little,
Yep. And
like
then
that.
once it starts grabbing, like you
He
can
wants
hold
me to
it,
start
only-
there.
then come down,
Go,
and
yeah.
once it starts grabbing, turn like that. What?
You're in the way. You've got your shoulder in the way. I can't see what's happening.
Oh, nothing.
Right.
He was just showing me how to use my tool.
Rightio, start it up and try that.
So put it down, go in slowly.
Here goes nothing.
Just go slow.
Is that better? Okay, so up.
Amber,
Yes.
it is a nice, it's a nice slow movement. It's not, it's not go bang like that, you know? It's just a nice, gentle, easy movement. You've got Jay's problem. You try going at it like a bull at a gate. Just slow it down and then slide it along the rest, all right?
I'll try.
Slowly, slowly. Remember the hair wins the rest?
Okay, so start up.
Go slow. Go
Where's your
slow.
face? Good point, thanks, Robert. Where's your face shield gone, Amber?
Yeah, pull it down.
It was on my head at least. Alright, so in, nice and slowly, and turn. I'm not
Yeah,
cutting anything.
you're turning the gouge around too far.
Yep. Okay.
Keep it flat like that. Now slide it in towards the timber.
Yep.
Lift the handle up. No, you're still twisting the chisel around, Amber.
Right there.
Keep it flat.
Okay. Oh,
like that.
okay, yeah.
Alright.
Oh.
So come down with this straight with that. And put it up high so you can come down.
Yeah, I
and
know
catch
what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I go in
And
like
then just
that,
hold
and then,
it and then just go that way. Don't turn it. Don't twist that. Just go that way.
okay,
Alright.
it'll be fun.
It's called learning, yeah?
Hello.
No, get it down on the wrist. Get it on the wrist.
Look, doesn't matter how high you go with this. This needs to be on the wrist,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Always. I told you you'll break fingers.
And just go with the flow, yeah?
But
Right.
you have to learn to move your body as well, and I mean not the arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tricky part.
Right. Just switch off for a minute. I'll change camera angle again.
Okay, so just you want to say something, say it then.
Right. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you don't have that chisel on the rest.
Yes.
Do that.
Yep.
And if you get your finger caught in underneath between the chisel and the rest, you'll break it.
Yep.
Not the tool or the rest, your finger. So always anchor and then bring it up to cut.
Have you had enough? Have you had enough or what?
A little bit, but I'll keep going. It's
All
only
right.
been an hour. I haven't done much.
It's really, really, really high humidity here today, and it's like in its
Yep.
55.
it's
No.
35. And she's getting a bit hot and sweaty. And
Yes, I was going to say it's about, well, she's been going for an hour. And
yeah,
like normally in my workshop, we stop every hour for this reason.
Yeah.
It's because there's a lot to take in, and eventually you end up going around in circles. So we stop for an hour for 15 minutes, or stop every hour for about 15 minutes and have a break. And I was just about to suggest that she give it away for the day.
that's what I was about to say. It might be a long break, like 24 hours.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. But you are doing well, Amber.
Thank
As
you.
Mike said.
Oops, wrong way.
So I ended up finding that piece that went shooting off.
Oh, right.
I started to get it to go in on the edges there, but yeah, like I said, I kind of it's
Yeah.
nearly a bracelet, isn't it?
Nearly. You could
Oh,
put a
what do you
jewel in the big. You could put a jewel in the big crack there and turn it into a ring for a big finger.
There you go.
Now, Amber,
Yes,
put that piece of timber aside for tomorrow. All right.
I was going to. Yes.
Good. Write your name on it so Jay doesn't pinch it.
It's too good. He won't pinch it.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust him.
Bloody rat bags! Get out of my shed. Go
Thanks for the lesson, Rabbi.
Yeah, well, don't worry, we haven't finished yet.
No, right.
You don't want to hear what she's saying now, no? No, not really.
I'm talking to the cat. Go find the message.
Shizzle McDizzle.
What? You're outside. I'm going to relax and then maybe go make a coffee since no one makes me eat one.
Coffee!
And I just had a lesson and my brain's like, whoa. No, I'm joking.
And thanks for reminding me about the face shield, Robert. I'm tending to concentrate too much on where the chisel was going without worrying about the face. That's what I say. When you've actually got people here that you're showing, you tend to keep your eyes open all the way around.
Lovely.
The camera's a bit warm.
I know she's not. I don't think that Amber's getting discouraged.
No, she's right. She's just hot. There you go.
Thank you.
Scuzz that. You shouldn't be sitting in the sun, dear. It's not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
any favours.
Mhm.
What, you feeling crook, are you, Blair?
Oh,
Do you? Oh, hang on. I'll shake it around a bit more.
wait, what's wrong with this?
That's because I was moving the camera around so much. Blair's going to bath. He's going to Chunder.
Bloody weak Yanks, I don't know.
Yeah, look, this is the. That's in my shed.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What was that?
Not really. Oh, here,
Jojo.
coffee.
You need to get a fan.
Yeah, yeah. But we need one that doesn't blow the dust back around us, though. That's the only
No,
problem.
put it out so it blows out.
Oh, yeah, it's not. Oh, I need to rip the roof off.
Get a window fan of some type and mount it.
He hasn't got a window.
I got a door.
You got a scroll saw with a metal blade,
No,
a jigsaw,
Sounded pretty good now. Isn't
yeah, I got a jigsaw, but yeah,
a pair of
I'm
tin
getting-
strips.
I'm getting another shed soon, so I'll put it in that one. Then I can do it before I bolt it all together.
Yeah. You want to make sure it's exhausting out.
Yep. It's like Robbo's given up, eh?
No, I'm here.
Is that done?
He's done.
Yeah. He doesn't get paid enough to
That's Robo's talking lathe.
Nice one, Amber. What was that?
Steve Combs is about to leave. Yeah, I must admit it's getting hot in there too. At the moment, it's 28.
I'll swap with you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean shed size, I don't mean temperature.
Blair's Jake.
Yep, I heard.
Jake,
Yeah. I heard.
Blair's backstage,
Yep, I heard.
and Steve Combs has just left.
All right, see you later, Steve. How you going there, Blue?
I'm back.
Uh-oh. Quick one.
No, I thought it was a rumor.
I know you thought you got rid of me, didn't you? I'm like a bad rat. So what are you going to make tonight, Jay?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
He's practicing what I called Amber.
Yeah. I've got some coloured ink. I wouldn't mind maybe trying some centrifugal force with or something like that. Like a bit like what Robbo was trying to get me to do the other day, but it didn't work very well. So I was going to try it with some different colours.
Hello.
Who's saying hello?
My daughter just came in.
I think, yeah. I was being cheeky.
Sorry? Sorry?
Now, Dave, just form your tenon. Just form your tenon straight there. Don't worry about taking it down to the bloody tailstock centre all the time.
Oh, that's what I was
That's
doing.
okay.
I'm going down that little bit there.
Because normally you chop it right down to the tailstock, and then you got to cut off or sand off. Geez, why couldn't I have a picture like that last night with the sound as well? Oh,
Yeah, that was weird, that. Maybe we need to do a practice live on your connection before you actually do your live on the night.
yeah, I don't know. It was most annoying anyway. You probably lift that up one speed too, because Amber had it on the other speed. Are you holding that motor up with your right hand, are you, Joe?
Yeah, to get the top, to get the belt off
Yeah,
the top.
no,
Yeah.
I'll tell you an easier way to do it. Lift it up and put the lock back on it. Let it hold it up. Let the lock itself hold it up there.
Yep. So that view that camera that Amber had, you want that for now, from now on?
Sorry, what's that?
The camera angle that we had for Amber, is that a better one for her?
Yeah, it was much easier to see what was going on.
Oh.
Can you mute
What's
it,
that?
please, Joe? Mute yours.
Yeah.
Can you mute yours, please? Done. I've got another 10 of those lamps to do in the next couple of days, so get them out of the way. That's about the only thing at the moment. Probably be working on a big motorhome in the next week or two. The owners, we're out of lockdown over here now, so I dare say the owner will be down there shortly. Now, did you put a tenant on that, Joe, before you cut it off? No.
On what? I was just getting rid of that piece.
Yeah, well, no, you should have just put a tenant on it so you could use it later.
Oh, yeah, it's just over there. It's all right. Done.
Okay, I'll give you Mike. What is a bead spinner? It has me intrigued. Is that what you call it if you muck it up as a play or an art piece?
Yep.
That's good.
No, I just glued up a whole bunch of some walnuts, some purple heart, and it's a really orange wood. I can't remember what it's called.
Dave, can you mute, please?
I thought it was
Dave,
on.
can you mute, please? Okay. No, you answered the question. Right. Yeah, I love the pretty good play. I'm still having trouble visualising that, Mike.
It should be pretty. I think I'm just going to make kind of an orb kind of a thing out of it.
Oh, yeah. A sphere, you mean?
Yeah, it should be fun. The only problem is two of the wood, the purple heart and the orange one, when you turn it, it smells like skunk. It's terrible.
Oh, we don't have skunks out here, so I can't say what the smell's like.
Have you ever smelled really bad marijuana?
On the odd occasion, yeah.
It smells like really bad marijuana, like just terrible.
Oh. You can actually do an undercut rim, Mike, with a bowl gouge. You don't need to buy a special scraper or anything to do it.
Because it's witchcraft.
I'll have to look them up later on this afternoon when I leave.
So is a bead spinner, is that one of those things that you can put in a drill and you just basically turn it on your lathe and then press it in and it turns it into a bead? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Probably like marbles, if you like. They're just beads, that's all.
By the way, Bob, I never said hello to you. How are you doing?
Oh, good.
Good.
Been one of those lazy days.
For sure. Good Sunday.
All right, I'm watching video on
Mutus of the microphone, I think, eh?
what?
I don't know if only everyone wants to hear you hocking a lurgy.
At least we know he's still
No, I
alive.
don't. Well, we need to go and put his picture up in the shops where they sell smokes, you see. And say, do not sell to this man.
Yeah, we need him too much. Get him declared a national treasure.
Yeah. I don't.
It's so quiet.
Yes. were you doing today, Blair? Besides gluing up?
You know what? That's all I did. I was watching a lot of YouTube.
I watched Steve this morning.
Yeah,
thought that
I
was
watched
very
Todd.
unique.
That
Not
was
just
a little
the-
early for me.
Yeah, well, you can watch it in the reruns.
Yeah. The miracle of YouTube.
It'll be there after we all die.
That looks really cool, that bead spinner. Huh. That's another thing that I've been requested to make is a yarn bowl.
They're kind of neat. The first few that I turned were basically oopses, and I made them into a yarn bowl, and then I figured out there's money to be had in oopses, and I don't throw them in the trash.
The burn pile.
Yeah, well, problem is you get a catch, and then you say, oh, blankety blank, and you don't know what to do with it, and then trash it. So you get the Dremel tool out and make a yarn bowl.
Right.
The wood knew what it wanted to be. That's what I was told by a friend of mine at the time.
Are you actually turning them at 1/12 scale, are you, Mike?
Don't go too thin on that, Jay. They like to split.
That's the whole point of doing this part, Blair, is to get it as thin as I can. So when I put the ink in there, it bleeds through from the inside
okay,
out.
I see what you're doing. I get it.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to make a box.
No. I tried it out the other day and it didn't work very well because I didn't have the right squirter.
Yeah, well, make sure you get the outside round first, Joe, and sand it up and everything. That's a 1/12 size veranda post for a doll's house. We had a job once. A friend of a friend he built doll houses, And oh man, some of his are magnificent. I've made quite a bit of furniture for him in miniature and that, and it's a pain in the neck. But when you see this house, he's actually modelled them after real houses. Like his dolls' houses go for thousands of dollars each. But he's actually done a model of one of the castles in England and various other bits and pieces, and they're just so good. All electric lights, running water, everything.
Wow.
He got more patience than I have. And he reckons the best day of his life was when they invented LEDs.
Oh, yeah, for that business. I got a close friend of mine that's a conductor for Amtrak, and he has his whole basement full of trains. And he just went wild when he figured out what LEDs would do in buildings and street lights and you name it.
Oh, yeah, I know some of them really go overboard. A friend of my dad's was into model trains, and then he actually graduated into working model steam engines, and they have to go through all the certification that an engine driver has to go through, funnily enough.
The other thing, like model trains, there's got to know a lot of different people because of him, and that do models, and some of the detail they put into the houses, and if they want to be authentic, because
yep.
that seems to be the important thing, they get pictures of stations that were almost tintypes at the time. They were really crude black and whites, and then they try to make it look as if the way it was at the time.
Yep. Well, actually, in a lot of those old stations and things, if you can look up you can actually look up the council plans, and they've got all the colours and everything in them.
Well, here they just kind of built whatever they wanted to, or the different lines had their own standards. So they knew what they wanted, and they just went and built it before they had
Yep.
codes.
Oh,
It always
we're fairly
amazed me
young
about
nation.
people that would build ships in a bottle.
Oh, yeah, I know. They got more patience than I'll ever have, I tell you. I've always called, I took up wood turning mainly because it's an impatient man's hobby. It's either fixed or effed in a nanosecond.
Hey, Yappy. Good morning. Did you guys catch Yappy's video? No?
What was that?
Did you guys catch Yappy's latest video?
Morning, Yappy.
When did it go up?
He did a couple of them today.
Okay. Haven't looked yet. Hey, God, Yappy.
For some reason, I didn't know he was a woodshop teacher.
You what?
I didn't know he was a woodshop teacher.
Who?
Yappy.
He's never told us that.
That's a dying breed because of insurance. Until we got the saw stop, the shops here were closed. They couldn't afford the insurance.
Is it Damo? I thought that was Yappy.
Huh?
Mike is saying that it's Damo's video, but I thought it was Yappy.
Look at that. Oh.
No, Yappy's a trade shunter or yard in charge of the yard for shunting cranes backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be tough, especially, watching kids around bandsaws and table saws and, making sure they don't chop their heads off. I don't think I'd like that.
Well, they're generally not allowed to use them until they reach a certain level anyway. The teacher has to do all the prep work.
I was actually, and I know this was a long time ago, but in junior high, I took a woodshop class and I could use everything. Didn't matter.
I must admit, my son was allowed to use it. Yeah, my son did woodworking at school, and he went over to cut a piece of timber, and the teacher yelled at him and said, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm just cutting this off." No, you're not allowed to do that in class. He said, "Oh, well, thought it'd be easier if I did it than interrupt you to do it." He said, "Who are you anyway?" And he told him his name. He said, "Oh, you're the son of the wood turner up the road." And he said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, in that case then," he said, "you are allowed to use the equipment."
Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, where did I come from?
The mail. Also,
And he actually knew more than what the teacher did.
I bet.
Oh.
no, it was empty.
Yeah.
As in,
Yeah, we are a dying breed. I mean, we survived riding in the back of station wagons with no seatbelts.
In the back of pickup trucks.
That too.
No, you can play that.
Yeah, the bumpier and dustier the road, the better.
All right, Bill, carry on. If you can say. Okay.
We just created too many attorneys, and because of that, we're too litigious a society.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Because at least you can't waive any rights if it comes down to safety. At least for a minor, you can't waive a right. And the parents can't either. So that makes it rough.
Yeah,
That the parent can sign away for a kid to play football, contact football, without the proper safety gear for headgear.
more wearable.
Yes. Then we got green.
Noise.
Thought I'd give the pen inks a go, see what they're like.
You probably find you'll have to thin them down a fair bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Manic,
doing
I'm
now.
with you. Manic says the world's gone to hell. Huh. Yep.
Right.
Well, Orson Welles said it. Einstein said it. We were already there and didn't know it yet. And Fermi, he said, at least in the biography that was written from his notes, the fact that it was the beginning of the end of mankind.
I'm with you, Hodge. I wish I would have taken welding too. My high school had that, and I never did.
Where'd they go in now? Uncle. Tell him stuff.
We can hear.
Good. And then I'm like, go see Daddy. What? She comes running out.
Don't listen. Go about your business. What are you listening for? Yeah. Ciao. There's only one problem with these bottles.
What's that?
They don't have the right spray. It's leaking on me. I got dyed.
Permanent marked.
I'm dyed. I'm dyed. Sorry. I'm just cleaning out my spray bottle.
But you know, in a way, the industrial arts programs where hands-on is becoming kind of obsolete now. The kids are learning to program all the CNC equipment to do the same thing, and you get finished product, duplicated mirror images, and at a tenth the price. And in quality-wise, a lot better than the average woodworker or plumber or mechanic could do.
Yep.
Butter?
We're putting our people out of work.
Straight option.
Nearly 3 o'clock here. I'm going to have to call it a day here and do some more work, unfortunately. That dirty 4-letter word. So I shall bid you all good afternoon.
All right, Raul. Have a good night or good day. Sorry.
Bye.
Yep, enjoy yourself after you finish working.
Thank you for
I
your
shall.
help today.
Don't worry, there's more torture tomorrow.
I bet.
All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
No, because it's ink that's really thick.
And Blair, what was your hobby in high school?
Girls. No, I was actually a performer. I used to sing and dance and be in a group and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, that was me.
Why'd you stop?
I got ugly.
Well, come on, don't be like that. You had a shave.
No, I just started doing other stuff. Went to college and got married, got kids.
You got kids, did you? Where'd you get them from?
The kids store.
The
Jay,
way you
if you
said
don't know that by now, you need
Kids
some
are
help,
us.
buddy.
it. Well, I can't have them, you see, so I don't get it. No, no.
More ways than one.
Shh, don't tell them. Whoops, I'm live.
I'm busy eating and fast.
I was actually not going to work, but
Yeah, Blair, I was a guy behind the stage, doing all the lighting, sound effects, sets.
oh, that was you, was it? Oh,
That was my big thing. I was too shy in front of people. But I was an electronic geek. I was a ham radio operator, so
Yep.
it was easy. And then when I worked for the local TV station in high school, it was come up a little different.
That's one thing that I definitely got addicted to, though, is being out on stage and having, you know, people applaud and have a good time. And, you know, I can tell you it's a drug.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite play to be in, or a musical?
Wasn't musical. It was actually just a singing group. But in answer to your question, my favorite probably is one you probably have never heard of. And it's called Chess. My second is Les Mis.
well, he made them all. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have a third.
Yeah, I love Les Mis. I've seen it in Chicago. I've caught it twice in New York when it was out. I caught it when it was in Detroit.
I like Phantom. Phantom's good.
Yes, Cats. Well, I wasn't that happy with it. I love the music, but just seeing people in cat costumes and I watched it once.
Mike, no way. You saw Chess? Wow.
I used to play chess. Does that count?
A little different.
Damn it.
Yeah, the only thing I ever did myself was magic. And I enjoyed it. I loved doing that on stage.
Hmm. Yeah,
I got
people that can do that just amaze me. I mean, with a sleight of hand and yeah.
well, in high school, I did a levitation gig that I was able to have a friend of mine make in machine shop for me. And he got into building stuff that I needed. We'd work back and forth, and we catch a couple of the big magicians at the time. Knag was one of them, and we'd go down to see them in Detroit as high school kids. And then see the matinee and pay to see the night show, and always the only thing we could afford was the nosebleed section of the second balcony. And then somebody leaked that we were there, and he was playing for 2 weeks, and we were actually he invited us, about 5 of us that were involved as high school kids in different schools. He invited us backstage and took us all out to dinner. That
Wow.
was my high point in high school. And while we're having dinner, he kept pulling stuff out of his pocket, and he kept us all entertained. Showed us how to handle a deck of cards correctly. And if you don't do it correctly and playing the wrong people in poker, you get killed.
What's that?
Ah, civil defense alert.
You what?
That's a national. It started off as civil defense alert. It's used now for missing kids, stuff like that. It interrupts TV, broadcast radio. If I had my phone near me, it would be on my phone if it was in this area.
Yep.
Fantastic. So our governor sent out this thing to our phones. Says hospitalizations and case growth due to COVID-19 are unsuitable. Tune into local TV. I will address the state to announce a new state of emergency, statewide mask mandate, restrictions on social gatherings, and expanded testing after. Fantastic.
At least she's trying to protect you. Our governor, she was, they were going to kidnap her.
Yeah, I heard that.
FBI broke that up, yeah. And it's going to blow our capital up.
Jeez.
But they were totally anti-medicine, well, not medicine, but they just didn't believe. They thought it was all a hoax for the rich people to make it more money. And she was trying to force the people in the state to do stuff that wasn't appropriate to do. Well, the first time she did it was perfectly legal because our governor has, it's odd, but it's an old territorial law that rolled over that give the governor powers to be able to do something like that. If the Indians are coming, the governor can mandate that everyone get their guns out and defend the capital. The type of affair for defense where it's public. He gets together and do it. If they want that, she had rights like that, or any governor. Or it was a territorial governor back then. But a certain person had his people take it to court because it said once a year. So our Supreme Court said, well, that's what the original 1890 or whatever law said, but it had never been changed. It's one of those old blue laws that's been on the books forever. So they're trying to get our politicians to get together to make a better one quicker so we can handle it, because she can't do mandates like that.
I've never heard of anything like that before. We don't have anything like that here.
Well, our infection rate is almost double what it was during the first run of the pandemic.
How'd you kill me?
What's going on?
So Hodge says, I dated a cage fighter one time. And then he follows up and says, not going to lie, I got a tad worried when she got into the mount position. Ready, wrestle.
Fight! This reminds me of I can't even remember what the game's called now. little fighters and stuff like that, different fighters. Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Like, fight.
Round 2. Fight.
It was so popular, they made a game out of it and a movie. I like the way the green is under the black.
I'm gonna knock the top off now.
Jay, what other hobbies do you have?
None. I watch TV or YouTube.
A couch potato.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Now that the weather's starting to fine up a little bit more, we'll start going down to the beach for walks and stuff. Besides that, not really much, to be honest.
How far are you from the beach?
About a 15-minute drive, so maybe 10 Ks, 10 or 15 Ks maybe.
Jay, do you fish?
No, I used to a lot when I was younger. I couldn't be bothered with it anymore. Not unless someone wants to tie the hooks on for me.
That
Nah,
is
just-
one thing I would like to start doing again.
Yep. They've got lots of jetties here, so like every couple of kilometres there's a jetty, and we can go fishing off that if we want. It's just depending on what you catch and how many other people have been there before you.
Mm.
Do you have a favorite recipe for cooking your fish?
In the charcoal grill.
Smoked?
Yeah, charcoal grill. A little bit different from a smoker though, isn't it? A little bit, just a little bit. It's not much though.
Beer batter fish is always good.
Yes.
My favorite is catfish, though. Blackened catfish. Oh,
Yes, definitely.
My favourite is flathead.
what is it?
It's called flathead.
Hmm.
It swims on the bottom of the ocean, so generally it's really hard to see. But like spear divers will catch them quite regularly, and over here anyway. And yeah, that's how I caught my first flathead was spear diving. Right next to a boat, a grain boat that was in collecting grain. And little did I know at the time that what follows grain boats around, or what follows most boats around, sharks. What was in the water when I was in the water, about 20 meters away? Sharks.
You know
They
now.
can nibble a little. No big deal.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realise at the time. Didn't even occur to me. You know, me and my cousin went spear diving and stuff, and we were about, I don't know, 50 meters out, I suppose, off the shore, and we come back in. We got our flathead. It was about 3 foot long, I suppose. And they've got bugger all bones in them. A flathead. They got really big chunks of meat in them. They're just really nice fish to eat. Yeah, we get back up to the shore with it, and because we stick all of our clothes and stuff under the jetty. Anyway, we get back there, get our stuff. A couple of my cousin's mates come up to him because I didn't live out in the country. It was my cousin's house, and yeah. Anyway, a couple of his mates come up and go, "Come back in the water. We just found out there's heaps of sharks. Let's go check them out." I'm taking the fish home. I'll catch you later. That was the end of me. And if I knew there were sharks in there before I went in the water, I wouldn't have gone in the water. And I can just blame Jaws, the movie, for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, being on the Great Lakes, we get a lot of fish, fresh fish here.
So when I lived in Los Angeles, me and a buddy, we would always go over to a place called Malibu. And Malibu, kind of up a little bit further from town and all of that, they have kelp beds. And these kelp beds harbored all of these tons of fish. And so we would go and just snorkel in those kelp beds. We'd dive down and just hang, with weight belts on. And it's amazing how much fish will hang out in there. And there's these fish called Garibaldis. And I mean, they're man-sized fish.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
They're very cool. There was one time that I had a shark come up, and it was just like a little nurse shark or something like that, but I saw it swimming up towards me, and it just started slapping the water, and then it turned tail and went back down.
Yeah,
But-
that wouldn't work here with the great whites.
No, they would think I'm dying and chomp me.
Yeah.
I've seen tons of porpoise. I've seen whale. I'm a big whale lover.
Yeah, there's a certain point in South Australia where it comes right down to the edge of the state, and they got a spot down there that's dedicated for whales. No one's allowed in their boat, and if they are, they got to be like a K away or something like that. And yeah, you can go and watch them from the cliffs over there, but yeah, it's about as close as I'll be getting to a whale.
Manic is not a water person at all. Sorry.
But whale is a mammal.
Yep.
And I never thought of that. But in Alaska,
Give me a break, Yappy. Yappy says, I see whale every day. I just look in the mirror.
when I lived in Alaska, around Nome, they would go whale hunting and get a whale or two for the village at the time. It wasn't the big city it is now, but they would get it, the natives, and they would cut it up and for families and during the season. But then there was a time when their Lions Club, which they had going, they'd fly down to Fairbanks and for a barbecue that the Lions put together in northern Alaska. About 8 clubs, but they'd always fly in and bring whale meat, and it's red meat. It looks like a good marbled steak, except the pieces they brought that they had packed on ice were like 2 foot by 4 foot, and you look at that and you say, what kind of, where did that's a big cow. No, it's whale. Because it's a red meat. And it's odd, and it really is, but it's a red meat fish. Well, it's not a fish.
Huh. Yeah, I'd like to try it once.
That's the only place I've ever had it is during our Fourth of July programs at all the social clubs and that get together and had booths and parties and fireworks. Of course, fireworks don't do any good because it's daylight. It doesn't get dark. Not Fourth of July. The sun just goes around in a circle that far north. But they still do some land displays. You don't do any air bursts.
Wow.
Hey Jay, is that just food dye, or is it actually a paint?
It's pen ink
Pen
and
ink.
and um, like denatured alcohol kind of stuff.
This one's a cosmetic dye, and this one is just an ink. But it's in denatured alcohol.
When you're done with them, Jay, what are you going to use them for?
No idea. Jug box. Put it in the corner and leave it for when I sell stuff. I got no idea at the moment, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, good for a craft store. They're
Yeah.
unique.
Hey guys, Tammy is home, so I'm going to cut out of here. You guys, Bob, have a good night. Jay, you have a good rest of your day.
Well,
Thanks for
probably
coming in,
ought to-
Blair.
Everybody else in the chat, see you guys later.
Say hello to Tabby for us.
Will do.
Bye bye.
Well, I ought to leave you to yourself and your followers. It's getting late for me.
Well, thank you for coming in, Dr. Bob. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy it. Take care, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Saturday. Excuse that. Cheers, Daphne. Thanks for coming in. See you later, Mark. Robert, thanks for coming in. Oh, I have some blurry colors. Slowly but surely, each color will bleed into each other a little bit. It's slowly but surely flicking the green down. That's turned it into more of an orange there now. Not that you can really see it there much. Not like I can see it anyway. It's a hippie shirt now, Mike, now that I got stain all over it. It's my fat man shirt. Does it need some more colours, Mike? All right, thanks for coming in, Mike. Take it easy. Put a little bit of me shine juice on there. I know it's metho based and it might potentially wash off a little bit of it, but I'm willing to take that chance. Not too bad. Right, trendsetters. I'm going to give it 2 more coats, and then I'm going to call it. I'm going to knock it on the head. Oops, 1 more coat. Oh well, I'm not going to do it now. Bugger it. There you go. A couple of colours bled into each other. I knew the colours were going to run down, so I try and put a bit of yellow in between so then it can just bleed through. Nothing, I wasn't really going for anything too fancy. I just wanted to try the colour from the inside. It's got a bit of purple and blue in the bottom there, but green is what I was going for up the top there. It was meant to be purple down there, but blue, that's good enough. Mainly though, I was going for thin, just thin sides. There's pines notorious for breaking when it's thin, so I thought, bugger it. I'm going to see how thin I can get it, and then let the dye or ink soak in. Oh, I'm off like a bucket of prawns in the sun. Anyway, nice thin walls. Wasn't really concerned about the inside too much, like I said. I was just going for the colour. All right, take it easy, folks.